We have to concentrate on our student amenities, hostels, especially sufficient accommodation for the girl students. Note the same focus should be on classrooms and washrooms. Our Honorable Prime Minister's focus on Swachh Bharat has improved the state of that. So we have to concentrate on such things and availability for classroom for all courses, because we are sharing the classrooms and we have to have all courses and lab facility. In a state like Telangana, the state which we say is fastly developing, and I can say unless a state which is focusing on student education, focusing on higher education, and focusing in that way the employability is focused because of our education, we cannot say a state is fully developed. The pillars of development, the major pillar of development is higher education, basic education and higher education. So we have to concentrate. When we fulfill our ambition of our higher education, only we can say our state is a fully developed state. That is my humble opinion. Then emphasis on practical based education. We always focus, because degree based education, as our Honorable Prime Minister always says, you should not be a job seekers, you should be job givers. So practical based education we have to focus. You may be most of the Vice Chancellors may be focusing on that. It is not that when I mention, no, we are already doing, what is the focus on that? It is for the Vice Chancellors or the institutions. We have to concentrate more on this. If you are focusing on, more focus should be on that. And if you are have not focused, the focus should be started. And if it is not fulfilled, and if it is not focused to the expectation of the students or to the expectation of the society, it should change the direction towards the expectation of the students. And establishment of skill training centers, setting of placement cells, career guidance and counseling, organizing placement melas, competitive examination coaching facilities. It is very important, because our students are not only learning for the degrees, but they want to be more in higher positions. So competitive examination coaching and G20 and Y20 celebrations, involvement of students. Already I communicated with all the Vice Chancellors, because this G20 is a pride of India. So we are, before and all, the nation was looking towards other countries for solutions. But now the other nations are looking towards India for solution. So we are moving very fast, and this should be felt by the students. And students also should participate in Y20 conferences, this is UR20 conferences. So we wanted the universities to take forward the message, and I want to know how many universities conducted such great conference, because I myself attended 2 or 3 colleges, universities. I wanted to know from you how many Y20 conferences and how the message of G20 conference has been projected towards the students. And setting of alumni association and alumni meetings. Immediately I became the governor. My dream project was the connected chancellor. I wanted all the alumni, within 1 week, all the alumni of the universities to be contacted, and so that the past students help the future students, so that they gain their position and they gain their degree and they gain their life because of the education from the particular university, and because it is high time that they have to contribute towards the university. I am not saying that alumni associations are not working, but to that, not to that extent, because some alumni association is there and some few alumni are really helping the students for construction of some lab or scholarship, but it is not enough. The wealth of alumni, should totally contribute, should be utilized fully. DigiLocker for the benefit of the students. Sports promotion at all university level. That too also. Sports, we have sports classes and all those things. But to that extent, as we take, as our students take part in the national games, in the Olympic games, nowadays the government is motivating them. So even the peripheral students are taking part in that. Even Para-Olympics, we have got medals. So we have to motivate the students in that level. And participation in the ranking systems, the national, global level. That is one of my dream. And going for NAC accreditation. You all will know because when I personally went to the NAC committee at Bangalore, conducted at Bangalore, and all our higher education department came there personally. I handed over in what all our higher education is lacking, but I don't know how it is rectified. So a lot of problems we faced, and the NAC chairman itself projected some of the problems faced by the Telangana higher education, and we have already submitted it. I want the follow-up of that. And collaborations with other prestigious national and international organizations and universities. Some of the universities already signed MOU, I know that, but in spite of that, we have to be more proactive so that each and every student is benefited by such collaborations. And community outreach of the university social responsibilities, and Swachh campus. And most of the universities follow that, but still more efforts are needed. And green campus universities, that is also followed by most of the universities, but more green coverage is needed. And groundwater conservation and rainwater programs also should be conducted by the conservation of rainwater, conservation of the groundwater initiatives should be followed by the universities. And any best practices. I want all the universities, vice chancellors, to come out with a report. What all the best practices followed in your universities? And some of the additional points which I want to project are the motivating the students, not only academic social responsibilities, but academic entrepreneurship. Because now it is a competitive world. So while earn while learn. Motivate entrepreneurship so that the marginalized students who are studying in our universities start learning. Itself, the students should gain the economic empowerment and the innovations, the research activities, more focus on publications, more focus on innovations, and more focus on research activities. My request is, sometimes the research activities and the publications are by some certain students, always they come forefront. Please pull down the last bench students also, motivate them who are all not yet published, who are all not yet, there is a grade mark now, but in spite of that, we have to motivate the students, and so that they have to come up with more publications and more research activities. And now, from now, I want to announce that award from the Chancellor from the universities. And another thing I want to mention here is, please bring out, I already mentioned in the Vice Chancellor video conference, because this G20 magazines, souvenir we can bring out. We can ask the students to write about the pride of Telangana, the heritage of Telangana, and the Telangana movement, so that this will be a great data. It will give a great data, good data about the our agitations, our improvement, and our academic activities, and all these things should be projected in that souvenir. and good online platform, because now Rajbhavan is going to inaugurate a digital library. Because during the pandemic, we are very proud that we are one of the states who initiated the online education. I always say during the pandemic, the online education have become the lifeline of the academicians. So we initiated much ahead of other universities. So this online platform for the students, whether it is interactions, whether a scientific forum or presentations of the paper, or inaugurating or discussing with the international forum, that should be encouraged by the students, by the faculty, and the students should be motivated for that. And apart from that, some of the problems which we face in Telangana, it is little matter of concern. For example, employability, even the government came out with for recruitment. They wanted a common recruitment board, and because of my inputs from UGC and from other universities and from the academicians, I was unable to endorse the common recruitment board, and I have referred to our Honorable Rashtrapati for endorsement by writing some of my concerns on that. And even some private university bills, because I have gone to all the universities, I visited the universities, and in one of the university, Vice Chancellor had a problem, but before 1 year itself, I went to that university and I projected and I conveyed what all the problems true, and even the court has come out with its views, what we told. Even some of the universities, vice chancellors who are continuing, I wanted immediately search committee, and I accepted the extension of the university vice chancellors. In spite of that, I know that immediately they should be replaced. But in spite of my writings and notice saying that immediately search committee should be formed, and immediately even the same person can be appointed as vice chancellor, but the system should be followed, and that was also not followed by the government, and recently the court has heavily come down about that proceedings also. And because of all this, I have to say I am totally focusing on the higher education, but you all know as a chancellor, but the higher education department and the government has to take some decisions, even though we are the chancellors and we are following the universities, but some of the decision making and some of the immediate measures cannot be taken forward by the chancellor. So, but I constantly convey my message. Even one of the, for example, Basra University, even though it is not coming under our purview, but when I went, I felt that some counseling classes should be there. But in spite of that, we are now noticing the very, very disheartening to see the suicide attempts of the children. So before 1.5 years itself, I focused that some counseling classes should be there. So these are things which we, my intention is not to create students. They are even in NEET. You have seen these students have come out with flying colors. Even in all India examinations, when compared to other states, the toppers are more from Telangana state. So my request is, please feed the children who are all hungry, who are all so the main aim of this Vice Chancellor's conference is that we have to look after what all the expectations of the students, what all we have to fulfill, what all the gaps which are 2020. Because as an academician, I really, when I read about the NEP 2020, as our Honorable Prime Minister says that moving the children from the classrooms to the international scenario, the world is and looking at has been rectified. So it is our duty, because it is implemented in a much greater way, in a much systematic way, and more academicians and more the opinion from more students, more academicians, more teachers, and more parents, lakhs and lakhs of people have expressed their views, and from that, as a juice, this national NEP 2020 has been formed and implemented. So it is our duty to take forward the implementation of NEP 2020 with its full form. So my request is, whatever may be, I know some of the limitations of our Vice Chancellors and some of the problems even the Vice Chancellors are facing. But in spite of that, whatever may be the hurdles, whatever may be the problems we face, we have to help the students, and we have to make our state the topmost state in our higher education. And most of the time I have noticed, because I see in the newspaper, some of the students want more marks, and they want the examinations to be postponed, and they want more courses, and they want the fees of the PhD to be reduced. So many problems the students are facing. But my worry is I am unable to help them in their day-to-day activities. But I am holding the rope for them. I can assure the younger generation of Telangana that I am there to protect them, because I can tell a small story. When children were crossing a rope bridge, the mother was standing at the other side. The rope bridge was with holes and it was shaky. The children were thinking, oh, this is shaking and we are about to fall, and there are lots of holes in that. And why the mother is standing on the other side? She's not coming to help me. So I may fall down. Why my mother is not coming here? She's standing at the other end. And then when they passed, only they found the mother was holding the other end of the rope. Otherwise, the bridge would have collapsed. So the mother is holding and standing on the other side, holding it strongly, so that the younger generation are not collapsing and their ambitions are not collapsed. My situation is like that only. So I am holding them, but day to day, because of the limitations of Chancellor and because of some of the problems I face with the state government also, we are unable to help the student faculty day to day basis. But my intention, whether to the passing of the bills or supporting the bills, we're opposing the bills, all because I have to support the youngsters. It is only for the younger generation, and it is only to the safeguard them. That is my intention, and to my conscience, I am working for them. And this, we can, let us have an open discussion. Even if you want to criticize also, you can tell me, so that if you want to tell anything also, you can tell me, so that we can come to a solution. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Now, with the permission of Honorable Governor and Chancellor, now Honorable Governor will inaugurate the Rajbhavan's digital library.
Actually, this digital library is inaugurated with the intention of more students should be benefited, the marginalized students who cannot get their academic books. So our department, our office put more efforts to organize this digital library with all sections of education, whether it is medicine, engineering, whether BCom, BA, or arts, science, or diplomas. We have collected all the books with the National Digital Library India, with a collaboration with them, so that they can reach out this digital library at any time. This will be a very good for these students who are unable to get the books and who want to reach out and who can appear for the more competitive examinations and who want to exemplify in their academic activities.
Ma'am, first we will see SCRT Telangana books, ma'am. Here you see, madam, mathematics class 9th. English medium books are there, ma'am. So the school children also, they can access from our digital library. Yeah. So chapter wise they can access. Then go to other intermediate. Yeah, IIT, JEE and NEET previous year's question papers along with solution also is available. Yeah, all the papers, ma'am. Can you show NEET? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are available. Then can you show BTech computer science subjects? Yeah, one of the subjects, ma'am. Yeah, so these are various books, madam. So students can freely access wherever they are. If they have network, internet, they can access. Even if it is Nagar Karnool, if it is Bhadrachalam, if it is Adilabad, students can access. Then can you show medical books? MBBS and other medical books are also on reference books and journals. They're all available on this, ma'am. Yeah, various case studies, research papers of other universities are all available. Can you go to other one? Career development, competitive exams. Yeah, here, madam, competitive exams like UPSC, Railway Recruitment Board, Staff Selection, Institute of Banking. Yeah, just show some UPSC. Yeah. These are all various papers, ma'am. Previous papers. So they are all available at single place. So that students need not go to various other places and, at single place we are able to provide all the old papers along with solutions. Okay. All UPSC papers, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay, I want all the Vice Chancellor to propagate about this library to your students. We took much effort, almost 6 months to 7 months effort, and we reached out doctors for medical books and we reached out the academicians for academic books. So very elaborately we have worked on it. So it should be totally utilized, not only introduction, it should be totally utilized. And the thought of it came when I had some interaction with some of the tribal students on online classes. They were unable to reach out the online courses. So the thought came and then we have successfully implemented it. The success of this will be as many as children who utilize this library. So I want all the Vice Chancellors to propagate about this digital library. We have almost all books, most of the books we have fed in that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And if ma'am permit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I request NIC Senior Technical Director, Mr. Srinivas Subbarao Garu, to give demo on Chancellor Connects alumni. So from Rajbhavan website.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good morning, ma'am. So already all the vice chancellors and the senior officers from the various universities, so they are onboarded with this Chancellor Connects alumni. So nearly 1197 applications received as on today, and among them 784 applications were successfully accepted, and 8 applications were rejected due to various reasons. And 405 applications are pending, and 470 IDs are also generated, ma'am, actually. So even then, some of the VCs and registrars they are facing some technical glitch actually. So now we want to show the live application, live demonstration, ma'am. And before going to the live demonstration, I want to express my sincere gratitude towards Honorable Governor, ma'am, for giving your time and for witnessing this live application, live demonstration. And as a NIC, a technical partner, so we are very much pride to have this type of interaction with the Governor Rajbhavan office. And in future also we will try to integrate some more applications as and when required from the NIC side, I am saying, ma'am. And we will show the end-to-end solution process for this application. So my colleague Mr. Anil, he will, okay, right? So in the from the governor portal, alumni is the link is there, ma'am. So in this actually everything is a secured one. So with user ID, password, and we have integrated with the SMS as well as the email also. So all the information will be passed in the form of email. So two types of registrations are there. One is the alumni registration, and second one is the university registration. And presently 14 universities are enrolled, which are onboarded with our application. So yeah. So I think I'll hand over to my colleague.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. We are doing the live registration of one of the alumni of Osmania University, Mr. Uday Kumar. I have selected the username as Uday M and chosen the password for him, typing the full name and entering the mail ID. Mobile number. Enter the mobile number, and he will be a student, so I'm selecting the student as role, and then for security reasons entering the CAPTCHA. Yeah, now he will be receiving an OTP on his email ID, which he will share with us to complete the registration process. We are yet to receive the email.
Finally, card will come.
Uday Raj
When card comes, it comes. No? Updates, promotions. Updates. Updates. All mail kota. Inko registration చేయాలి. Actually, my request, you proceed. Meantime, I'll talk. My request is because you know the number of alumni in our university and number of them registered, you can how negligible the amount is. So from 2 years since we are trying this, but in between pandemic, I want each and every university to focus on this. So this it's a great treasure. It's a great treasure which we utilize to the present education system. But some of the alumni have come out with good number of work. There are auditorium construction of crores and crores, but much more can be got from them. So my request is, please, whatever may be the hurdles obstacles you face in that, you can rectify it. But we have simplified. Before we had a little complicated registration, but we have simplified everything. But only our concern is somebody should not be a false registration. That's all. They should, because we are giving a card after completion, ID card. We are giving that he belongs to this. He is an alumni of this university, so he can have it. He can show his children also. See, I learned from this university, and because of this, I have the alumni card. This is a pride of our institution. Is our pride. So when our Madras Medical College faced some of the problems in demolition, something, immediately we MMC students went there and we prevented that problem, and even the student faculty is more benefited by that. So this is our duty. So the connection between our institution and ourselves doesn't complete after getting the degrees. It is eternal. It is still our life, because our life is gained through our university. So my appeal is, I have to more concentrate on this, because we have basic work, everything we have done. Just you have to motivate the alumni. Completed?
Yes, sir. We have received the OTP and entered the OTP, and the candidate's registration is completed successfully. Now we will continue to log in with his credentials just now created, and then update his profile along with his photograph and other details like his educational qualification. We'll now log in.
If it is delayed, then we'll proceed, because
Yes, ma'am.
time
We'll do
is
it, ma'am.
precious. Let them proceed.
Can we use your username and password, sir?
Yeah, that's what we'll proceed, and when it comes, just you can show.
Yes.
And another thing, two things I actually forgot to mention here, the health profile of the students. In the first Vice Chancellor conference, I told about that. We have to have the health profile because that is particularly female children. When we have the health profile, it will be useful for their future pregnancy and other treatments also. So it is, and anything to be corrected. Because nowadays we say that for getting good generation, pre-conceptional stage itself, everything should be connected. So we want anemia-free, malnutrition-free student faculty. First, some of the universities are maintaining, I think. I wanted regular health checkups. You can report in your reporting. So for that only I wanted Dr. Agram also here. Because nowadays breast cancer, he wanted to make the children aware of the breast cancer, and along with me as a doctor, I also want to take the message anemia-free students, because 70% students are anemic according to the report, and we want to take forward the preventive measures among the children. So we want that help from you also. And we have taken another initiative from Rajbhavan is CPR challenge. We are training, all our Rajbhavan staff are trained in cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Because, when I was traveling in a flight, one person got a problem and he was facing with some cardiac arrest, and immediately, because my presence, he was saved. He is a DGP, ADGP, even still in duty at Andhra Pradesh government, with Andhra Pradesh government. So that, as a doctor, I always thought, but after this incident, we motivated all of the youngsters to get trained in the CPR, and we systematically trained all our Rajbhavan staff to carry out the CPR, so that in the emergency situations. So I want all the students also, because now we are going to collaborate the universities with the Red Cross. So they also themselves will take the message forward, but I want all the university vice chancellors also to take forward the message of CPR. So it will be very useful. Nowadays, when we go to the crowded places, when we go when we unduly faced with some of the problems faced by the patients, or even normal patients can have cardiac arrest at sometimes, so they can be saved. So we are taking forward the message of CPR also. Yeah.
We are in the profile page, ma'am. Since there was a password lockout for that user, we have used another user ID with Mr. Srinivas Subbarao Akella, and I have updated his details with gender, date of birth, designation and working place, along with the mobile number and email ID, and the address, Telangana State, Hyderabad, with the town and pin code, and residential address same as the present address. And the university is Osmania University, studied in Chaitanya Bharati Institute of Technology with qualification MCA in 1994, and the roll number is 0992207, and uploaded the provisional or convocation certificate and the photograph. You can see the uploaded certificate here.
Very good.
So this is a certificate uploaded and issued by the Osmania University, and also the photograph which is supposed to be given, so that this will be printed on the ID card as well as on the certificate of alumni. So once the profile is updated and submitted, the application will be sent to the university for the verification of his candidature, and then the certificate will be generated. Yeah. This is the format of certificate for alumni, which is actually generated in this form once the university approves. There are a lot of it.
So it is an opportunity to have the certificates also. Some will search the certificates only when we want them to upload it.
Yes, ma'am. So Yeah, okay, okay. It's approved and the certificate is generated like this. The physical copy of the certificate is here, ma'am. It's printed already.
Okay, you can show that.
Certificate వచ్చింది. వచ్చింది.
Congratulations. Kampa. Oh, this is our staff for getting the alumni. Thank you.
So, with your permission.
Let you fast.
Yeah.
Let you-
Yeah,
You can-
so now Youth Red Cross, Mr. Ramesh, can you give your presentation?
Why we wanted to project the Red Cross activities like NSS. We want the Youth Red Cross and Junior Red Cross also to be associated with the institutions, because during the COVID, they did an exemplary job. And even midnight, early morning, they went and distributed the groceries wherever we wanted. And blood donation, particularly for thalassemia patients. During the time of pandemic, we did not get blood, but all our Red Cross societies, all the district branches worked hard, and they motivated the policemen, the army personnel to donate blood, and even the thalassemia patients who need blood repeatedly were given blood because of the activities of Red Cross. So I want to, yeah. And another thing, when I came here, the Red Cross number was only some 20 to 30,000. Now we have more than 15 lakh students enrolled in that. So I want more focused on that. So this will give them an opportunity to serve the society. $431,000 from universities. So we have the data from each and every university, and totally it is number of students. Kakatiya University, 208 colleges have the Youth Red Cross Society. 1,15,000 students are there in the Kakatiya University. Osmania University, 161 colleges enrolled it, and 96,000 students are there. JNTU, 68 colleges and 1,29,000 students are there. Satavana University, 39 colleges have enrolled and 19,000 students are there. Palamuru, 16,000 students with 31 colleges. Telangana University, 28 colleges with 27,000 students. Kaloji University with 20 colleges, 8,000 students. Mahatma Gandhi University, 11 colleges with 8,000 students, with 3,000 students. And JNTU Fine Arts, 3 colleges with 3,000 students. Ambedkar Open University, 1 college with 1,900 students. ICBM, Professor Jaishankar, Telangana Institute of Agriculture, 310 students. KL University, Ajip Nagar, 1,000 students approximately. Totally 576 colleges and 4,31,000 students. But I want more enrollment from the universities.
We'll play the video, ma'am.
Yeah. Little quicker and faster, okay? Because so I want the Versity to be associated with us. So I want the Versity to be associated with Rajbhavan with all the good efforts. So I salute the youth of Telangana because we are standing in an independent state. The new state has been formed because of the sacrifice of the Versity of Telangana. Because of the sacrifice, so many young people have sacrificed their lives for this formation of Telangana. I want to compliment their association in the tribal activities also. We have adopted 6 villages and they have donated 2-wheeler ambulances where the people cannot reach. Single road is there. And then in distribution of the Mehua Laddu to combat the anemia and in maintaining the health profile of the tribals. And in medical camps also they are doing exemplary job associated with ESIC Hospital and National Institute of Nutrition. Thank you.
Now, Dr. Raghuram.
Vice Chancellors, members of the media. I feel it a great honor and an incredible privilege to be addressing and sharing my thoughts with this august audience. And I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the People's Governor. I say People's Governor because she takes interest in people's issues. And on behalf of the foundation, you can see the Madam Governor here in the background of the Rajbhavan, the only Rajbhavan in the country which has been illuminated for 3 consecutive years to support breast cancer awareness in the month of October. Madam, so grateful to you for giving this unique opportunity and spreading this word not only in this state but across the country. And as I say, everything begins with a story. My story began when my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer 23 years ago. And to cut a long story short, I was working in the UK, came back to India, and over the past 17 years, I have strived to be a living bridge between Britain and Bharat, trying to replicate the best of breast health practices to improve the delivery of breast cancer care in India. And one of the things that really prompted me, which is close to my heart, is the activities that Breast Cancer Foundation survivors. So the aims of my presentation today, which will be very brief, is to so that through them we are able to encourage the older people in their homes and surroundings, because early detection is the only way that we can save lives. And I am here to seek your kind help with the permission of the Honorable Governor. And my presentation will be quite swift. It will not be detailed as it would be in your college premises, but this will give you a bird's eye view of what we are talking about. Breast cancer is the most common cancer in India. Unfortunately, compared to the West, majority of breast cancers in India present in the younger age groups between the ages of 30 to 50 years. Because of lack of awareness, because of lack of a robust organized screening program, because of resource constraints, more than 50% present in advanced stages like this. This is a lady from the city of Hyderabad, from Jubilee Hills, who has ignored the symptoms of breast cancer and has presented in advanced stage. Every 8 minutes a woman succumbs to breast cancer in India. It's a closet issue, and that is why we need to disrupt this attitude. And there are certain myths which we need to clear. One of the myths is when someone presents with a lump in the breast, she thinks it's a breast cancer. But 9 out of 10 lumps are not cancers. And as I was just explaining to Dr. Prabhakar Garu and also to Dr. Kavita Rao Garu, that when someone presents with a lump in the breast, they don't need an operation. They need triple assessment. It has to be done by a team which comprises of examination, imaging and core biopsy, not fine needle aspiration biopsy, which is very routinely done in our country, despite the fact that 20 years ago it has been proven that core needle biopsy is the gold standard. Just like a doctor requires a stethoscope for a surgeon or a specialist dealing with breast diseases, the stethoscope is good radiologist and good pathologist. And these 3 things are very, very important. I shall just touch upon some common breast health issues. The commonest problem is breast pain. It's not a cancer, it's not a symptom of cancer. Majority don't require any medication except for reassurance. And lot of doctors write medications like evening primrose oil, which does not work. The second commonest lump that people notice, particularly in younger people, is fibroadenoma, which is a small lump. Majority don't require any surgery. All that is required is an ultrasound guided core needle biopsy to confirm the diagnosis and then reassure women. It hurts me when I see many young people who come with multiple fibroadenomas who have had multiple scars in the breast. There is absolutely no need to excise a small fibroadenoma. All that is required is to reassure. Why I am talking about this is, when you hear about this, when you go to a doctor and the doctor advises surgery, then you are armed with this information. Cysts are very, very common in older women. Again, nothing needs to be done unless it is a very large lump where aspiration is done under ultrasound guidance. Coming to the breast cancer, do we know what causes breast cancer? We still don't know. But we know that any prolonged exposure of the hormone estrogen can cause breast cancer, and these are the common risk factors of developing breast cancer. And does breast cancer occur in older women? Yes, it is in the West. But in India, the peak incidence of breast cancer is from 40 to 60 years, and these are the statistics that show. Do men, there are many men in this audience, men think they don't get breast cancer. Men also can get breast cancer, but it is not common, it is not uncommon, it is rare. 1 out of 100 breast cancers occur in men. So men also need to be aware. And this is the Buddha statue in pink. Family history. A lot of times people say that when they notice a family history of breast cancer, they think that they are at an increased risk. My mother had breast cancer. My grandmother had breast cancer. Will I be at an increased risk? The answer is no. Only significant family history is important. When one or more relatives are diagnosed with breast cancer under the age of 40, or 2 or more relatives have had breast cancer in their family, or breast cancer and ovarian cancer in the immediate family, or male breast cancer in the family, they are predisposed to genetic factors like BRCA1 and BRCA2 abnormalities, which can potentially lead to breast cancer. This is our legislative assembly, the only legislative assembly which turned pink. Birth control pills cause breast cancer is a myth, because modern day birth control pills have very low dose estrogen and progesterone, hence they don't cause breast cancer. Now, breast self-examination, many times we see in the media that women are encouraged to do breast self-examination. I'm afraid there is no evidence now. A lot of randomized controlled trials have been done. The concept now is called breast awareness, where women are encouraged on a daily basis just to know whether there are any new changes in the breast, like a painless lump in the breast, puckering of the skin overlying the breast, blood-stained discharge from the breast, from the nipple. If these changes are there, they must report to a doctor. So it's important to know what is normal. It is important to know what changes to look for, to look and feel, report any changes to the doctor, and have a mammogram if someone is aged over 40. Mammography, why people don't go for mammogram in our country, there are two main reasons. One, people think it's a radiation hazard. Actually, the radiation from mammography is less than a dental X-ray. The second thing is, lot of times people think that there is pain. The pain will be momentary, but it is called discomfort if it is done properly. In this day and age of digital mammography, 3D mammography, the discomfort is less and the pain is less, the radiation is even more less. And therefore, it is very safe to have a mammogram, because that is the best way to detect early cancer. Underwire bra and deodorants do not cause breast cancer. Breast cancer. Breastfeeding does significant. And lot of times women say, doctor, I don't have a lump. Why are you asking me to get a mammogram screening? Because breast screening can save lives. That is the only way that breast cancer can be detected early. It is because of this several randomized controlled trials which have shown beyond doubt that we cannot prevent breast cancer, but we can detect it early and we can cure it. Usually you can't use the word cure in cancer, but with breast cancer, if it's detected early, you can cure this cancer, because you don't want to have a woman like this who has had a mastectomy, because it naturally breaks anybody's heart. We are looking at picking up cancers when it is 5 millimeters, 10 millimeters, many years before it is felt by the lady or the doctor. So that when we detect a cancer like that, we just put a fine wire and remove the lesion, and we don't need to remove the breast. And in this day and age of oncoplastic surgery, I don't mean reconstruction. Oncoplastic surgery means when you remove a lump in the breast, there is a big defect. To cover the defect, we can use several techniques to reshape the breast so that there is no defect in the breast. If you see the lady on the right side, this lady had a lesion in the upper inner quadrant, which is at the bra line. If I make an incision there, it is going to disfigure that lady's breast. So I make an incision around the nipple areolar region, remove the lesion, and afterwards she won't be able to see the scar, she won't be able to feel the defect. So that gives an enormous psychological advantage. All this can happen only when you pick up cancer early. And lot of times people think that mastectomy, that is removal of the breast, will be better than breast conservation. There's a lot of studies which showed that people, the uptake of mastectomy here in our percent of women have mastectomy, whereas they can have breast conservation, because that is the most important way that we can really do service to women who are diagnosed with breast cancer. Again, this is the Rajbhavan in pink. The final component of my presentation is on counseling, because cancer doesn't just affect the body, it affects the mind and the soul. So it is very important that we cure sometimes, relieve often, but comforting the patient is most important, because patients are naturally upset when doctors fail with words. In our country, although this communication skills was just introduced in 2019, most doctors fail with communication skills. You look at this doctor who's talking down to the patient, where the patient cannot communicate, and you look at this doctor who's talking with the patient, where patient is doing the talking. So therefore, he should have big ears. Finally, inspired by our Honorable Prime Minister's Digital India dream, because counseling is not done properly, because communication skills are not the best in our country, I have actually mobilized all my resources and invested a lot of time to develop an app which is called ABCs of Breast Health. It is not just in English, but it is in 12 languages, and that is why it is the world's first mobile app which contains information about every aspect of breast health, which has been explained in simple, easy to understand format in 12 commonly spoken Indian languages, which is freely downloadable in both App Store and Google Play Store. And this has already been downloaded by hundreds of thousands of people, and through this medium, and also hopefully when I am able to come and speak at the universities, we would encourage people to download this app, because it has got every information, and when they go to the doctor, they should be able to question why something is not being done or why something is being done. And therefore, we want to prevent advanced breast cancers. If we have to prevent breast cancers, people must be empowered. And if people are empowered, certainly we will be able to make a difference to the way breast health care is managed in our country. And I would like to take this opportunity, Madam, to request the Vice Chancellor that I can approach them and I can come and empower the students who are in your universities, so that they empower their older members in their homes, and so that we can make a positive impact. Very grateful, Madam.
Yeah. Thank you very much for a good presentation. Actually, in the intention of projecting his research work and his awareness program to Vice Chancellors is that nowadays, as he said, not only 30 to 40, even now in my practice itself, I have seen much younger girls with breast cancer. With the incidence nowadays seen in much younger girls. So the awareness is needed. So not only breast cancer, as I said, now we are going to appeal the students to be associated with TB Mukt Bharat, because the WHO stated that the whole world should be TB Mukt world by 2027, but our Honorable Prime Minister set an ambitious target. By 2025, India should be TB Mukt Bharat. India should be without tuberculosis. So we want to take such initiatives to prevent anemia, to prevent tuberculosis, and to create awareness among the students about the breast cancer and detection of early cancer. Early cancer, when we catch the cancer at the earliest stage, we can cure it, as doctor said. So we want to take the message to the students also. That is the message I wanted to convey to the Vice Chancellors by projecting the presentation of Dr. Raghuram, who's really dedicated, and he requested that this should be spread among the students. So they are maybe the best ambassadors for creating awareness among the public. Thank you very much. Yeah, because your job is over, sir, because our job should continue. Thank you.
Yeah. Now I request Dr. Avichal Kapoor, Joint Secretary, University Grant Commission, to address.
See, no, whether it's working. Oh, it's working, sir.
Honorable Governor of Telangana State and Honorable Chancellor of State Universities in the state of Telangana, respected Madam, Secretary to Governor Shri K. Surendra Mohan Ji, Honorable Vice Chancellors of various state universities present here, and my dear colleagues, a very good morning to each one of you. At the outset, it is a pleasure for me to be part of today's conference, and also it was a great learning listening to Honorable Governor Madam. The and expectation from the state universities and students, particularly from the state of Telangana in particular, and in the country in general. With these introductory, to spell a few things to when we look at higher education in the country at present. If you look at current landscape and current era of education, we always call it, sitting there is the era of globalization, with anyone, anytime, anywhere kind of education. But the most important aspect is ever increasing institutional competitiveness. And we believe that the time has come and will further enhance survival of fittest and the best in the field of education. And if you look at NEP, let's not look at NEP, look at how we as a country have been looking at education. Many of you may be familiar that government announced a scheme of institution of eminence. The purpose of announcing this scheme of giving 20 institutions the tag of institution of eminence was with the sole objective of, on one side, providing quality education to the learners of these universities or institutions, but also to rank better in the globally renowned rankings such as QS ranking, Times Higher Education rankings, Shanghai rankings. And 20 institutions, 10 public, 10 private, and even those 10 public institutions, you can see the government committed the support of 1,000 crore for a period of 5 years with 200 crore funding every year. Then the purpose of making institution eminence regulatory free framework for such eminent institutions on one side. Government in the whole world, Madam, India was the first criteria of ranking Indian institutions in the country. So in the 2015 government announced, and 2016 we started ranking institutions under various categories. Many of you may be aware that 5 criteria and around 18 to 19 sub-criteria still continues to be the same when we have announced from 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I can tell you that a lot of credibility has been built into these NRF ranking system, and society has appreciated this for looking into the quality of institution on one side. Even the premier institutions like IITs, IIMs and medical aims institutions, you can see on the website that which department is doing well. Research is an ecosystem, 40% for the university ecosystem. So government was always looking at making Indian higher education system leading the global higher education space. So we came out with 2 defined moment of institution of eminence. The scheme is still active. You will see the announcements in times to come. And NRF is announced on year-to-year basis with 3 years data of the preceding years. Important thing about NRF is that nothing is which will go in non-planned manner. Since it is a 3 years data, so every year you have 2 years data common, and only the latest year data gets into the assessment system, where the last most year gets obsolete from that assessment period. So not only you have in the research, you have number of students, you have graduation outcomes, you have perception also as a criteria with 10% weightage in that. So not only you should be doing well, you should be perceived also to be doing well by the renowned academicians, where we approach the top academicians of the country. So when this all was happening in the pre-COVID era, ma'am, then the COVID came. And with COVID coming, online education was promoted, and you must have heard the Honorable Prime Minister and the Honorable Finance Minister at that time. 100 top universities in this country will be permitted to offer online education without prior permission of the Commission. Now, this is a very big statement in itself, but from where these 100 universities will come? So we came out with a regulation in 2020, and that says that you should be in one of the two categories. Either you should be having a NAAC score of 3.26, or you should be in the top 100 in the university category in 2 out of 3 cycles. If you belong to one of these two criteria, then the institution or so-called universities can offer online education without prior permission. So it's a big regulatory reform or relaxation given to top performing universities, where there is no limit on the international learner. You can enroll international learners also. There is no limit on the enrollments in any of the programs which you will offer as a entitled university of this country. We also relax the norms of offering distance, which is typically called as open and distance learning, and conventional education with 40% component permitted in online mode. I'm not sure how many of Telangana universities are actually using permissible 40% online component in the conventional mode of education. You can use SWAM, you can use best of the best resources in the worldwide, and then if you are very confident of offering 40% online to students, then you can look at the 100% online through online space. Some of the programs which are prohibited in completely online, like medicine and engineering, but programs like latest program, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, management education, all are permitted in full-fledged online mode. So we relaxed number of things in order to promote quality online education and permit quality institutions without the burden of regulatory framework going through the process of assessment. But you need to be in one of these two categories. Either you should be in top 100 university rank, or you should be having a NAAC of 3.26. I'd also like to clear this aspect also in presence of Honorable Madam. Today we have 1100 universities, ma'am. And if you look at NRF data, I'm very sure Honorable VCs must be looking at. We are yet to touch 500 universities participating in NRF. Actually 300, 400 submits data. While going through the process, you have 350 universities. It's like getting 100th rank out of 350, because denominator nobody talks about. But I can tell you that since we have made it compulsory for central government institutions, every year we find greater and greater enhanced competitiveness in scoring. 1 mark increase actually takes you 15 rank jump, because ranks are 100 and denominator is there. Then came the so-called new education policy on 29 July 2020. And I'll request Honorable Vice Chancellors, there were 2 documents of NEP 2020. One was 400-page document, which actually is like a Bible for all of us. Those who are in the field of education should actually have that document read, because this document was also giving the basis on which the recommendations have been made. So in-depth study, in-depth analysis, and those things, recommendations were made. And then came the final policy, around 60-70 page document. So both documents are important, but we need to look at all the new education policy have been built on 5 pillars. Pillar of access, pillar of equity, pillar of quality, pillar of accountability, and pillar of affordability. If you look at these 5 pillars, and also one of the significant recommendation from the university education perspective, that times to come, there will be 3 set of universities or institutions in this country. The first set will be only the research-centric universities. Second will be, that means they will be mostly into the research, having some component of teaching learning. Then second set will be the teaching learning-centric universities, which will have more component of teaching learning and some component of research. And then all these affiliated colleges are perceived to be independent autonomous colleges with the degree awarding power. Right now, autonomous colleges do not have degree awarding power. And all 3 fronts, I can tell you that government is looking at in terms of implementation, along with one of the major recommendation of having a single regulator in the form of Higher Education Commission of India. When this new education policy was announced, it also kept one thing in mind, that gross enrollment ratio, that means number of learners in 18 to 23 age who can go into higher education divided by number of people actually going into the system, is perceived to be, which is right now at 27%, is perceived to be, are targeted to be 50% by 2035. Now, when this GER component looking at, government is taking and promoting online space in a big way. And I think if you see a UGC website as on date, you will find 100 universities, 400 plus programs offering in the full-fledged online mode with no limit, no boundary restriction. Distance education has a boundary restriction. You cannot offer outside the boundary of the state. Whereas in the online space, you can even enroll the learners from anywhere in the world. We say that world is the limit. I would also like to inform that any university which is entitled or permitted to offer online space, Ministry of External Affairs sends number of students under bilateral treaty from various countries, Pan-Africa projects and other projects, to these universities which are government recognized or entitled for study in online mode, for which fee is also paid by Ministry of External Affairs. So 1,000 students, 2,000 students every year based on your fee fix for learners is paid by Ministry of External Affairs. Keeping all these things in mind, with the final recommendation of NEP that by 2040 Indian higher education system should become none to anybody or second to anybody in terms of offering quality education irrespective of cost and irrespective of economical background, and concluding it with the learner calling as the global citizen. People can see the definition of global citizen. UGC came out with number of reforms in terms of relaxation or supporting the open and distance learning for the quality universities. We also came out with one important thing is academic bank of, I don't know how many of you as a university making use of, where the 50% credit transfer is permitted. So there is a bank, it's like a bank. A student actually is, instead of enrolling in a program, student actually enrolls for a course and keep accumulating credit and present himself to a university from where he or she wants to get a degree, and 50% credit actually stored in the academic bank of credit can be transferred there. Now, but this will become reality when the universities collaborate. Finally, student will not be able to convince the other university that my credits are equivalent. Universities have to come out with their own indicative list that which university, which program will be considered in terms of credit transfer in the respective university. We also have recently started a new initiative, is Professor of Practice, where we are permitting, each university is permitted to actually have industry professional, where teachers or professors are not eligible to become professor of practice. Even professor of practice need not be a postgraduate and PhD qualified person, but somebody who is having 15 years of experience and is considered as an expert as decided by you. You can have that person appointed in the university for 3 years and with an option of reterm, and 10% of those positions you can create. We have come out with 4 years undergraduate program also. And many of you may have seen that 3 years undergraduate program. Delhi University recently launched 4 years undergraduate program. This 4-year undergraduate program is typically a program with honors or program with research. First time officially it has been notified that somebody who will have a 4-year undergraduate program can directly move to the PhD program. Even the UGC regulation of 2018, while calculating faculty's academic performance index, there is some weightage to PG student. Somebody who has a PG qualification is also getting changed, so that students moving from BTech or so-called undergraduate program to PhD should not be put into disadvantage. We have also announced multi-entry, multi-exit option and multidisciplinary initiative. Many of you may also be familiar that this year National Digital University will be launched, full-fledged. This is called as E-Vishwavidyalaya, where this will be hub. Any of you can become the spokes if you have the capability in terms of resources, in terms of content, in terms of infrastructure. in offering online programs. It will be a very prestigious project. UGC has also made announcement on degree apprenticeship program, where the degree apprenticeship of student actually doing apprenticeship training, which Honorable Madam spoke about, employability and competency-based learning can be made use of it. National Credit Framework, I also saw in the agenda item, Madam, and this is something I think each university should make use of it, because this is the first framework which has been notified officially by the government, where the conventional education, vocational education, and experiential learning all have been treated equivalent. At level 4, Madam, is the 12th standard, and then from level 4 to level 8, it's a 0.5 level increase, 4 to 4.5, 0.5 to 6. Each level expects a 4 year in the year graduate, third year of undergraduate, and student can make an exit with a diploma, student can go to postgraduate. So there are a lot of options have been created there. Many of you may, if you want to see how this system actually is working, is you can see the IIT Madras program of BSc Artificial Intelligence, where they have actually following this 6 month foundation. If you complete foundation, then 6 month certificate. If you complete 6 month certificate, next year is your diploma of same discipline, artificial intelligence and data science. And then if you complete diploma of the second year properly. So the idea is that student which can be stored in credit are in the form of taking it forward for the subsequent year of learning. We have also announced learning-based outcome curriculum framework. You may please also see that. Lot like to see those in all the honorable VCs would be to put up a nodal officer who actually, we are very active on social media platform with our new chairman coming in last year. YouTube, then all those social media platform, please have a Twitter also, you can have the link. So all those new initiatives which UGC and the Ministry of Education is taking from time to time, and I can tell you this time is not very low frequency, it is sometime it is monthly. If you see last 8 months, you will be able to find at least 5 to 6 announcements which are student centric, university centric. But if university is, first university has to understand what are these. We have started 2-3 very important things, Madam. One is, Honorable Chairman has started a Samvad practice. Samvad is something which, I don't know how, I'm sure some of the Honorable VCs must be participating that. Every quarter is the frequency when the Honorable Chairman, government officials, all the joint secretaries in the commission, they are actually present to take the live questions from the audience. So we take, it's an hour-and-a-half program. It's a live program, transmitted also live. So this is something you should look at. Any issue pending with the government, you can raise that issue, you can send in writing. So there are writing, we take number of questions. So answers are given directly by the chairman UGC. And then there is a close to half an hour live session where you can ask the questions live that are responded. Some of the Honorable Court's mandatory requirement, Madam, I'd like to just request all the Honorable Vice Chancellors. We have written to all of you about the Supreme Court guidelines on appointing ombudsman in the university. And one important committee is the Student Grievance Redressal Committee. Please ensure that because Supreme Court is monitoring on regular basis for us, and they actually look at if there are 1100 universities, how many of those universities have actually appointed ombudsman and the committees. Internal Complaints Committee for Sexual Harassment, we have actually made a Saksham portal where you are requested to upload the details of these committees. Recently, we have taken new initiative, Madam, to handhold the universities in implementing the NEP initiative. Oh. And we have designed a portal in the name of Ussaha. Ussaha full form is Undertaking Transformative Strategies and Actions for Higher Education Institutions. Here, actually, each university has to register officially, and then by 20th of every month, there are 10 domains of NEP defined. like promotion of online education, multidisciplinary education, multi-entry, multi-exit, national curriculum framework, academic bank of credit, anything which you have thought out of NEP. So 10 points are mentioned. University has to tell what are they doing in out of the on these 10 points. So that is the expected date is that by 20th of every month, university will update. So first, I'm not sure whether all of you have registered. So please register on the OSA portal, and then, because this is something which will self-monitoring also. For us, it is looking at how many universities are actually, like central universities, we conduct meeting every month with the Honorable Vice Chancellors of central universities, and we look at those points of NEP implementation, and happy to share that many things are moving. We have also written to all the Vice Chancellors of all the state universities and central universities to nominate 3 students to become Sardi, who will promote NEP. This group will be formed. They will be invited to Delhi for direction. We invite close to 50 students from higher education space, and they are taken directly to Parliament. So it's such an eye-opening for these young kids, and this VC recommends those names, and then out of those names, 8 students typically, with 3 minutes given to each, they speak in the Parliament. When the Honorable Speaker, some of the Member of Parliament, it's a fantastic experience, and it is live on Doordarshan. So please send on regularly basis. We have started a practice of looking at, you may have heard this article also, that PhD award and faculty appointment, both of all types of universities, central university, state university, private university and deemed university, a committee has been constituted to look at our universities following the UGC regulations issued from time to time. And in addition, we have been issuing number of advisories, and with these introductory thoughts, I thought I'll brief you that what we are looking at. Finally, we are looking at a inclusive regulatory, not a regulatory, but a facilitative framework to ensure that quality of higher education in particular improves on continuous basis with 2-3 main objectives. Our institutions, so-called premier leading institution, should attain higher and higher benchmark and the ranks in the globally renowned ranking systems, and we become one of the premier destination for the students worldwide to study in the conventional mode, blend mode and fully online mode. With this, I would like to thank the Rajbhavan authorities and the Honorable Governor Madam for inviting UGC representative in today's conference, and look forward to many interaction in times to come for learning and contribution both. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We learned a lot of new things and what all the avenues available for communication between the government and the students, and to make the students to be very, to improve their expertise and to improve their academic activities and to project themselves in a global. So we can ask the press to go, no? Otherwise, let them. You want to, because we are running out of time, 1 o'clock we announced lunch, and before that 2 to 3 universities presentations are there. We want to after lunch. Because, yeah, I want to know, because some may be diabetic. So, yeah, that one, as a doctor I can say, because, so let them, oh, lunch is ready, because 2 minutes you just. So anything you want to ask him, you can ask, interact with him, because after his lecture, no, I also, it's an eye-opener for me also on certain things. So you can have some, yeah, doubts to be cleared. Yeah. 1 minute, sir. Give the mic. Yeah.
Sorry.
With the permission of Honorable Chancellor Madam, good morning to
You introduce yourself
Yeah,
and then us.
I am Dr. Neja Prabhakar from Sri Konda Lakshman Telangana State Horticultural University. Related to the NIRF ranking, related to like agricultural horticultural universities, apart from that research and education component, that extension is included, and the score for that extension activities is missing in that one. So most of the, so please, so we also represented that thing to the ICR also.
Give me a copy also, because this category has been introduced recently. We started with 4 or 5 categories, and as the demand and the request come from various segments, we keep adding those things.
And so, one more thing for
Madam, my request would be that send a copy to Chairman NRF.
Okay.
And mark a copy to Chairman UGC, because he sits on both the chairs.
Okay.
And then WhatsApp me that copy, I'll take it forward.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You wanted to ask.
See, this is something which is the sole prerogative of the university, because university, you need to look at, they are going to represent you. You know that the students who should be familiar with NEP system, because they are going to mostly talk about the NEP initiative in your university, NEP recommendation from the recommendation itself, and then there will be a connect between government ecosystem and actually they are taking your flag forward. So final selection, somebody who is presentable, somebody who is willing to learn, because they may not be that expert in the NEP. So let's not look at somebody who is willing to learn, and you should be able to actually mentor them, that these are the things you need to look at. And then if 3, 4 you can look at.
And sometimes students, they will ask, if I'll recommend 3 people, on what basis you are selected, I am also good.
No, sir, when we make a judgment, we should be very clear on what basis we have made.
And local university, that problem is.
I think we should be transparent also.
It's a healthy competition.
Healthy competition. Like I'll tell you, one university, Central University, while for Ambedkar University, they conducted written test.
Okay.
And they conducted, because a lot of students wanted to go to travel. Government also pays their travel, and it's an eye-opener for them going into Parliament, seeing the Prime Minister, Honorable PM from this distance, sitting in the hall, main hall they actually sit. So they number of students were coming. So they conducted a written test. After written test, they conducted some kind of interaction. And when the 20 names, see what happened last time, that we got 30 names, and then Lok Sabha Secretariat said that you select 8 names. Now it is somebody who is going to speak very difficult. I myself sat in that Zoom meeting, so we decided that we will have Zoom meeting with all 30.
Yes.
And we asked everybody to make 2-minute presentation, 2-minute speak basically, on the topic of Honorable Ambedkar. So everybody spoke. We 3-4 people looked at, see, collective wisdom, if it is done in an unbiased manner, I think by and large people will accept.
Thank you, sir.
So the lunch is ready. Okay, because some of the vice chancellors wanted the lunch. I also feel that because it is almost 1 o'clock. And I'm really very happy, sir, about your presentation, and all the vice chancellors are going to present about their university activities in the afternoon. And I can assure them, because already we conducted a conference, because it was pandemic, we very elaborately we had a discussion with all the vice chancellors, and we prepared almost a dictionary of all our universities. What is the land property and how many faculty, what are the vacancies and how many colleges. It's a whole thing is in the Jadagam of our university we are having it. So why I am showing that, I can assure the vice chancellors, what all you said and what all you wanted to convey, everything was taken into account, and everything put into as a note, and it was submitted to the state government. Already I have submitted it, and I have sent to our central education minister also. So whatever we conduct is it's very serious, and we are committed towards the higher education, and with all our competent vice chancellors, because they are all experts in that, academic activities because of their commitment and with all the guidance from yourself and with the discussion of all the other vice chancellors, definitely we will be able to exemplify in our academic activities. We want the children of the Telangana